Hi everyone, we're the Consulting and Strategy Club of IIM Lucknow, and welcome to the first video of our Strategy Sprint series. This is a beginner-friendly and comprehensive video series aimed at aiding your consulting prep. Today, we'll be covering the profitability framework through a short case. Hi Chandni, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
All good. Let's solve a quick case.
Sure.
All right. So, your client is a movie theater and they've been facing a decline in profits over the last 3 months. You're required to help them identify the cause and offer recommendations.
Got it. So, just to reiterate the problem statement, our client is a movie theater who has been facing a decline in profits since the past 3 months, and they want us to identify the reasons and give them recommendations. Is that right?
That's correct.
Sure. So, I have a few clarifying questions before we proceed with the case. Is it fine if I shoot those?
Sure.
Thank you. So, firstly, I wanted to understand what has been the magnitude of decline.
Right, so profits have declined by 10%.
10%. Okay. Understood. And so, where is the client currently located? So, where is this theater located currently?
This theater is located in Connaught Place in Delhi.
Okay. So, are we talking about like a single theater, or is it a part of a chain like maybe?
This is a standalone theater.
Standalone. Okay.
Yes.
Understood. Great. Also, just wanted to understand how many screens does this theater have, and what kind of movies are displayed here.
Right, so it's a multi-screen theater. They have 4 screens, and they have a good mix of movies by languages and genre.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Also, like other movie theaters, is it safe to assume that they also sell foods, beverages, and have other revenue streams as well?
Right, there are multiple streams of revenue. Yes.
Understood. Thank you. Also, with respect to the kind of seats available, so are we just having like normal seats, or do we also have like gold and premium seats available in the theater?
So we do have multiple categories of seats. Here you can assume that the client's offerings are comparable to a PVR or an INOX in that regard.
Okay, understood. Right. And also, one last thing, is it just us who is facing this issue, or are we seeing like a industry-wide issue with respect to the...
No, this is specific to us.
Okay, got it. Understood. I think I have most of the information I need for now. I'll just take 20 seconds to think through the structure, if that's okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Right. So profits are a function of revenues and costs. So are we facing issues with a particular bucket, or is it a mix of both?
Right. So our costs have remained the same. So we can focus on revenue.
Got it. So as you mentioned, that there are a couple of revenue streams that they also earn from. So these would be ticketing. There could also be F&B that they have. Apart from that, there's parking, if any, or advertisements that they earn through maybe in terms of posters or the ones that are played in before the movie. So is it a particular revenue stream that is facing an issue, or would you want me to?
Right. So we've actually seen a consistent decline across most of the revenue streams, but for the purpose of this case, let's focus on revenue from the sale of tickets.
Understood. Do you want me to completely ignore the rest three for the rest of the case?
Yes, we can ignore those.
Oh, thank you. Alright, so the revenue from tickets can further be divided into the number of customers who are coming, into the number of tickets that is purchased per customer, into the average price of the ticket, into also we can consider the mix of tickets that are sold, so could be premium tickets versus non-premium tickets.
Okay.
So do we, are we aware of a particular of these is facing an issue here?
Right, so the first element of the equation that you mentioned, we can focus on the number of customers here.
Number of customers. Yeah. Got it. Thank you. Can I just take 20 seconds more to probably think through how to proceed?
Take your time.
Thank you. Right. So the number of customers can probably further be broken down into the number of screens that we have, which is 4, into the percentage of screens that are operational currently, into the number of shows that are on an average shown per screen, into the percentage occupancy that we have per show.
Right.
So, do you want me to focus on a particular bucket here?
Right. So most of the elements that you mentioned with respect to capacity have remained the same.
Okay.
We've seen a decline in the percentage occupancy. So if you could dive deeper into that.
Understood. So if my understanding is right, essentially less tickets are being sold is the major issue.
That is correct.
Okay. Right, so I would actually want to look at the customer journey here to understand why exactly are we not selling enough tickets. So I would want to divide that into 3 major buckets. One would be which is the entire process of buying the tickets. During would be when the person has bought the tickets and watching the movie, and post would be after. Mostly, I think during and post would not be an issue here, considering the fact that we are not being able to sell enough tickets. So is my understanding of pre here right?
Right, that's a fair analysis. We can focus on the pre-phase of the customer journey.
Got it. Is it okay if I take like 30 seconds to think for
Sure.
the future? Right. So I would want to divide the buying process into four further stages. So first one would be that the person feels they want to watch a movie, so the need and the preferences part comes here. Then would be that they should understand where to actually go and buy the tickets from. So that would be what ways are they approaching to buy the tickets. So the buying process and the ways accessibility part of buying the tickets, and finally would be the entire experience of going through this buying process. So do we know if any particular bucket is an issue here?
Right, so not much has changed about the experience of customers with the buying process itself.
Okay.
We can probably look at the needs and preferences of customers in this case.
Okay, got it. So if my understanding was right, as we also talked about in the beginning of the case, that it is only us who is facing the issue. So the needs and preferences in general of customers has not changed with respect to the movies that they are watching. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. I'll just take 20 seconds to lay down my thoughts. Okay. Just one more thing. So there could be like some internal issues and some external issues. External issues would be the larger preferences that we talked about. So is it safe to assume that there's no external issue that is causing a need or preference problem? Or do you want me to explore both of these?
Correct. So as you pointed out, it's just us that's facing the issue. So the problem is attributable to an internal factor. We can look at internal factors here.
Okay. Right, so I've actually listed down a couple of reasons that I can map to the types of movies being an issue here. One could be with respect to the genre of movies that we are showing. So some movies are also A-rated, which might not be preferred by the audience. Second could be the types of screens and theaters that we have. So they could be 3D, 2D, 4D, or IMAX. So it could be that preferences in the types of movies are not matching with the theaters screens that we have. And the third reason could also be the language, the kind of movies that we are playing does not match with the preferences of our audience. So language preferences of our audience. So that could also be an issue. Do you want me to explore any other possible issues that could arise?
No, so all of those are valid factors that could be leading to a mismatch between the preferences of customers and what we're showing. So as you rightly pointed out, language is an issue in this case.
Okay.
Now, given that the theatre is located in Delhi, what do you think would be the preference of customers with respect to language in this case?
I think for North India, mostly people would prefer like Hindi or movies in English, and maybe regional movies would not be a good preference for them. So that would be my understanding.
Correct. So you've correctly identified the issue here. So this theater actually hired a new branch manager around 3 months back, and this branch manager has a personal liking for Kannada movies, which is why the number of shows and the total screen time that is available for Kannada films has increased, which has led to a decline in the number of shows for Hindi and English movies that we've been screening.
Got it.
So that's why we've been seeing a decline in ticket sales. Now that we know the issue, can you come up with a few recommendations for the client?
Definitely. So before I move on to listing down the recommendations, just wanted to check, have we done anything or spoken to the branch manager about this till now?
Not really, no.
Okay, got it. Just give me 20 seconds to list down my recommendations.
Sure.
Thank you. Right, so I've divided the recommendations into two parts, short term and long term. I think for the short term, we should speak to the manager first and also reinstate more Hindi and English movies instead of regional movies after speaking with him. I think for the long term, since this is an issue with respect to the person who is in charge, we should also put this into our hiring policy, or while taking interviews, we should ensure that in the future such things do not happen again. So maybe just either in terms of training, we can ensure that during the training phase, once they're hired, they are told about this, or when we are hiring, we should be cognizant of this. So I think these would be two recommendations from my end.
Sure, those were good recommendations, Chandni. I think we can close the case here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming to the case feedback, let's now walk through the approach that Chandni adopted while solving this profitability case. The first and arguably most important step in any case is to fully absorb the problem statement and ask sharp scoping questions. Chandni did this very well. She clarified the magnitude of the decline in profit, understood the theatre's location and target market, asked about the type of movies screened, the number of screens, the ticketing model, and other details. These questions helped her narrow down the scope and contextualize the problem. A good thumb rule here is to lean on the CPCC approach, that is, company, product, customer, and competition. Once the context was clear, she broke down profit into revenue and cost and aligned with the interviewer that the issue lay primarily on the revenue side. Identifying the fact that a movie theatre had multiple revenue streams in this case was an important step. She listed these out and then appropriately restricted her detailed analysis to the problem area, which was ticketing revenue. From there, she used a simple yet powerful formula to break down ticket revenue into number of screens, shows per screen, occupancy, and average ticket price. This ensured that she covered both capacity and demand side levers. Next, she mapped out the customer journey into pre, during, and post phases. This helped her explore the problem from the perspective of customer experience and allowed her to zoom into the pre-stage when prompted to do so by the interviewer. She examined customer needs and preferences and then leveraged information from her CPCC questioning, specifically that the profit decline was unique to the theatre, to deduce that something may have changed in the theatre's ability to meet audience expectations. By exploring factors like genre, language, timing, and format, she arrived at language mix as the core issue. Throughout the case, her structure remained clean and intuitive. She continued breaking the problem down into smaller pieces at every stage. The slide here presents a sample version of a framework that can be used to solve the case. Chandni also ended the case with practical and relevant recommendations to build even stronger impact and grab some brownie points during the interview. Some more creative ideas could be suggested, such as exploring dubbed or subtitled versions of Kannada films, optimizing ancillary revenue streams, or preparing a brief financial performance report for senior leadership to support decision making. Overall, it was a well-structured and clean approach that connected a high-level profitability issue to a very specific driver using solid first principles reasoning.